What's up, YouTube? Zen Rahman, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about anxiety or anxiety disorder. And we'll make this a two-part video. In this first part, I'll talk about what anxiety is and why you need to deal with it. And in the next part, I'll talk about some ways that you can deal with anxiety if you have anxiety, or some ways you can help someone you know who has anxiety deal with it better. Let me say that I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a counselor or a psychotherapist, not one of those things. The information I share with you is based on my personal experience, research, and knowledge. And I want to put some information and awareness about anxiety out there because I feel like it's a growing mental health issue in our society. So, what is anxiety? All of us can be anxious about certain things or in certain scenarios, in certain situations, or in certain places that make us feel not so good about the situation or about ourselves in that situation. And uh, generally, talking about anxiety with people, it's something that comes and goes. Everyone deals with being anxious. But for someone who has anxiety disorder, uh, they might experience repeated attacks or episodes of anxiety, and this anxiety disorder could be social anxiety, PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and it is just like a wave of thoughts, negative, irrational thoughts, which could be thoughts of worry and fear that don't make you feel so good in a situation or not feel like yourself. And these thoughts get overwhelming and very consuming, and that's all your mind focuses on in that moment, and it just gets you fucked up in your head. Like, I have social anxiety. I don't feel very comfortable in social situations or around people I don't know very well. And for someone who has social anxiety like I do, we can walk into a certain place that triggers our social anxiety, like wherever. It could be a workplace or a class, and these thoughts just start filling up your head, like, what am I doing here? Am I supposed to be here? Are people looking at me? Did I say something wrong? Did I do something? Am I supposed to be wearing this? And yeah, it just starts to get consuming. And for anyone who might be dealing with anxiety disorder, I want them to know that it is not a disease, it is a condition or disorder. So it can't be really cured, but there can be certain ways to train your mind to work with the anxiety, because this brings me to why it needs to be dealt with, because anxiety has a tendency to affect the way you go about your day, your everyday activity, your life, your job, or your studies. It can hinder the way that you perform or the way that you behave. You don't really feel like yourself, and this is why anxiety needs to be dealt with, so that we don't really give it complete control over our lives. And in situations of anxiety attacks, in our bad moments, we can function more like ourselves. because like I said, it is a part of your personality. It is something that has developed out of your past experiences. It is a part of who you are, but it is not who you are completely. I want you to think of anxiety like a snowball. Okay, so if it rolls, it gets bigger. Okay, so suppose you're presented with an opportunity where you can deal with your anxiety to a certain extent, tackle it to a certain degree, but you choose to completely back away from the opportunity and not deal with your anxiety in a certain situation, not introduce yourself to the situation at all. So what this does is it gives the snowball an opportunity to roll. It gets bigger, so now it's a potentially more intense anxiety attack. The next one, the next time a similar situation presents itself, you may not have an opportunity to completely back out on it, and then your guards are down, and then this bigger snowball, it just hits you harder, so it puts you in a worse place than you may have been. So there can be certain ways to deal with anxiety, to maybe train or condition our minds to work with anxiety, to work around it, so it doesn't completely affect our everyday life, and it allows us to function in a better way, because it's not a disease. It's not like it can completely be cured. It will always be a part of your personality and who you are, but it is not who you are. You are a much better person than what your anxiety wants you to believe. And we'll talk more about what some ways to deal with anxiety are, and some ways in which you can help someone you know deal with anxiety. And let me know in the comments what you thought about this video, what your take on anxiety is. Like the video, share it, subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one.